Okay, guys, so today we are here to talk about the 1% rule, which is my totally unsexy secret to success. First, let me start with a quick story. I was a starving college student. I had no money. I was a senior in college. I was going to be graduating within a few months. And I was reading a college newspaper, and I saw a job ad for a sales position. I had no experience in sales or business. I wasn't even a business major. I was a pre-law major, but I needed money. So I applied for the job, and lo and behold, they hired me. I was the absolute worst salesperson they had ever hired. Admittedly, self-proclaimed, the worst salesperson they had ever hired. But within 6 months, I went on to become the top salesperson, okay? The top salesperson in the entire company, right? And I quickly realized that the secret to that success was really the 1% rule, all right? And this is where the 1% rule came in. So my focus, right? See, most people think that success is about a specific event. You read a book and then you become successful. You watch a speaker, someone who speaks on stage or at an event, and you become successful. You take a course, an online course, and you become successful. That's typically not the case, right? What I have found is that what really works is small incremental changes cumulatively compounding over time is really the secret to success, right? So I recognized this phenomenon, in my first sales job. I realized that rather than trying to go from being the worst salesperson to the best salesperson, overnight, notice it took 6 months for me to become the best salesperson. I didn't say 6 minutes. I didn't say 6 hours. I didn't say 6 days. It took 6 months, a very diligent practice. And what I focused on was very simple. I focused on improving on every call, small incremental improvement on every call, every day for 6 months. And the cumulative effect of that was that I developed my skills to such a level that I eventually became the top salesperson in the company. Now, if I had tried to go from the top salesperson or from the worst salesperson to the top salesperson in a day or an hour or a week, I probably would have failed because it takes time. And that's the power of the 1% rule. If you focus on improving 1% per day, the cumulative effects of that will make you 38 times better than in 1 year of 1% improvement per day. You will be 38 times better than you were when you first started. So imagine being 38 times better than you at something than you are today, whether that be sales, whether that be communicating, whether that be writing, whether that be speaking, whether that be negotiating, whatever the case may be, rating, whatever the case may be, okay? Imagine being 38 times better. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a cumulative, consistent focus on continuous improvement. All right. So that's the focal point. But I want to share a story with you that's way more compelling than mine, right? Mine's interesting and I lived it. So it's something that's near and dear to me. But I'm going to share a quick story with you. Okay. There's a gentleman by the name of Sir Dave Brailsford. He became the head coach of the British cycling team in 2002. Now, in their 76-year history, prior to David coming on board, they had only ever won one Olympic gold medal. That was their pedigree. They basically were a nobody in international cycling. But from 2007 to 2017, Sir Brailsford took the British cycling team from nobody to winning over 178 world championships, 66 Olympic and Paralympic gold medals, and also captured 5 Tour de France titles, all in that 10-year run, okay? So it's widely recognized as the most successful run in cycling history. Now, Sir David Brailsford was a former cyclist, but what he did is he applied the theory of marginal gains to cycling. That's that 1% rule. His gamble was that if his team broke down everything there was that goes into cycling, and they improved each element by 1%, right, that they would achieve a significant aggregate increase in performance. So that was the gamble. So what they did is they experimented heavily in wind tunnels, and they were looking for small incremental changes, small incremental improvements. By analyzing the mechanics of the team truck, they discovered that, there was dust accumulating on the floor, undermining the bike's maintenance. So what they did is they painted the floors white to spot any sort of dust, to spot any sort of impurities. He hired, another example is he hired a surgeon to actually teach the cyclists how to wash their hands properly. Okay, so that they wouldn't get sick, so they were less likely to get sick. And at events like the Olympics, the team did not shake hands because they were afraid that they were going to get sick, right? So they were trying to prevent illness. They were trying to improve performance 1% in all these different areas. Now, there's lots of other things that they did, but ultimately, they searched for small incremental improvements, and they found tons of opportunities. And what ended up happening was the cumulative effect of those 1% gains led them to, again, 178 world championships and 66 Olympic and Paralympic gold medals and 5 Tour de France's. Now, that's pretty amazing, right? I told you my story about I was the worst sales guy, right? I was the worst sales guy that they had ever hired. I went on to focus on constant improvement, daily constant improvement, 1% per day. And I went on to become the top salesperson, which eventually led me to becoming an entrepreneur and now doing over $200 million in sales as an entrepreneur, as a freight broker and entrepreneur. That all stemmed from that initial sales job, right? From that focus on improving, the constant improvement, constant daily incremental improvement. And so my suggestion to you is that's where you need to focus. It's not going to be a book. It's not going to be one of my videos. It's not going to just be the Freight Broker Bootcamp online training course, right? Or my upcoming Freight Broker Sales Accelerator training course. Those are all important components, but those are not going to be the one thing. You have to focus on improvement, daily, constant improvement, 1% per day. So let me I want to show you the math. I want to show you an image here really quick, if I can share my screen, because I want to show you the math on how this really works. All right. So this image is, from a book that I read called The Atomic Habits. Atomic Habits. Highly recommend the book. The author's name is James Clear, and this is an image from the book. And it says the power of tiny gains. So if you look at the math here, 1% better every day. So if you take a 1% gain, which is 1.01, right? A 1% gain over 365 days, over 1 year, what ends up happening is you are 37.78 times better than you were at the start. So do you see how the compounding effect takes place? When I told you earlier, you're going to be about 38 times better than you are a year from now, right? But here's the kicker. Here's the hard part. If you don't focus on improvement, you're never staying the same. So you're getting worse. Now here's the math. When you get 1% worse every day. So if you have 1% worse every day, right? All of a sudden, now at the end of the year, you lose 97% of your capabilities, right? So ultimately, if you get worse 1% every day, you will eventually, after a year, will lose 97%. You will only have 3% of what you started with. So do you see how it has a negative impact? Look at the image. It compounds. The positive 1% gain compounds over time to make you 38 times better. But the negative also will compound, but will ultimately degrade your skills and your ability and the level of success that you have. So that 1% rule, that constant and continuous search for small incremental improvements over time, is the secret to my success. I was not an overnight success. I had many business failures early in my career, but I never gave up, and I always focused on constant improvement. I got better with every venture. I got better with every business. I got better with every product or service. I got better in sales. I got better at the craft, and that took time. And so my point to you is this. I want you to understand that it's not going to just be one event that's going to lead you to success. Yes, it's great to be inspired by these videos. It's great to be inspired by motivational speakers. That's great. I love it. That's all great fuel. But ultimately, the secret to success, my very totally unsexy secret to success, is the 1% rule. And that's not just me doing that, right? That's an example. I gave you the example of Sir Dave Brailsford with the British, cycling team. And there are countless other people that have applied that rule to their life and their business and have had huge success. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. And if you did, if you are curious about becoming a freight broker or a freight agent, maybe you're on YouTube or maybe you're on Google and you're searching around to try to, gather some information on how to do it, let me save you a whole bunch of time. Check out freightbrokerbootcamp.com. We have a 60-day, 100% money back guarantee. We have over 8,000 students that we've trained. We're well known to be the most cost-effective and comprehensive online training program. Check it out. Plus, we offer a 60-day, 100% money back guarantee. You can just go to freightbrokerbootcamp.com. You'll get all the details. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed that.